Hi, I am Max Radico, and I am being phoned by all of my relatives telling me that I was on television. Um, this here's my good buddy Dean Clifford. He's a pretty smart guy. This here is Rob Menard. I interviewed him in 2010. I love him very much. I would give him a big hug if I saw him. He's not my leader. I'm not part of any organization. However, I do accept any accusations that I am part of an organization of any type that I might be associated with upon proof of claim, of course. So just if there's any evidence of it, then surely you can present that, and if it's non-refutable, then of course I'd have to accept it, right? So I'm already in acceptance of anything that I would have to accept. So you just have to prove that I have to. Anyway, this is the National Finding Freemen. I'm making this video not necessarily for the greater public out there. It's more so for my family who's calling me and talking to me about this stuff, because finally they're going to start asking me the questions. So I'm just going to go through this video, and as I do, I'll stop it and insert what I feel about certain different things. You know, this is just an opinion piece in a way, because I need to respond. I'm simply, this is exactly what that is. This is an accusation of me being, it's actually an information being presented that my face that's being used in this video is in fact part of these Freemen. And there's so many other things that I could get upset about. Maybe I will delve into them. The first thing being the name, finding the Freemen. Like, we need to find them. Like, I'm confused about many different things on here. So this isn't a notice to CBC in any way. This is simply an educational video about what was played on the National tonight on February 29th, the leap year day, of course, of 2012. And it's just after 11:11, and we're going to start watching this.
All of their rules have no power over us.
Adherents call themselves Freemen on the land. They belong to what some consider to be a harmless fringe movement in Canada, but others argue it may be larger and more worrying than it appears. The group is fairly new, but its numbers are swelling, and some police fear its potential for violence may also be on the rise. Our Adrienne Arsenault now with this feature investigation, Finding the Freemen.
Okay, I've just been pulled over.
This is Josh in London. You can watch his videos. They're great. You'll find a lot of information in there. There's no propagation of having to use this information. The idea that it is in any way your information is only if you accept it. The basis and the foundation of all of the idea of sovereignty, etc., whether you are it or you are part of it or you are with it, is subject to all those things. We need to talk about this stuff. It's not philosophy.
My own protection, I'm filming it. Right now, the officer's going to take a look at my affidavit of truth. I've stated that I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
A Canadian gets pulled over by police but has no intention of handing over his license, registration, or insurance. He doesn't have them, doesn't believe in them.
Because he mentioned travel, which is in the Constitution, that you have the right to travel. Not to mention, if you're not using the SIN card at any time, you may, of course, not be driving, because that would mean that you're actually working in the society, which is the Crown, which is the same society the police are in, which gives them the jurisdiction. So I'm not part of any other society other than the Crown. That legal fiction is still there. It'll never go away.
You don't have a driver's license, correct? No. And no insurance, correct? Do you have insurance? No.
It's written in all capital letters. So that's my person. It's not me.
You have your license.
Oh my God, he is investigative detention! Please excuse my friend Gabriel. This is a video that he partook in right here. So you just saw one clip of me in BC speaking to an RCMP, and we spoke to them, and long story short, at the end of the night, we ended up bumping into a tow truck driver who had said that those police officers were very happy to have spoken with us because it was really nice for someone to be telling them how their job actually works, because they didn't quite understand. Anyway, this officer right here is Derek from Perth, Ontario. I already have a letter drafted to be sending to his boss, actually the CEO of Perth Police. This gentleman, this has nothing to do with any kind of philosophies or anything like that. I wrote a little note at McDonald's, and this gentleman pulled me over and totally violated my rights, and I will be getting recompense for this simply because I was severely traumatized for no reason. And lawfully, he investigatively detained me with handcuffs in his car and then released me subsequently. You should please watch the video, the follow-up video, Released for Truth. You can find it on finditherefirst.ca.
And all that on you? Why?
And this isn't just one case.
I just using that as my form of identification to
YouTube is full of these scenes of seemingly nonsense-talking Canadians up to something at traffic stops.
Up to something at traffic stops. Okay, so we've had Josh, we've had Rob Menard skipped in and out of there, we've had myself, Max Radico or Matthew David or whatever, I don't know, and Josh, excuse me, not Josh, but Terry here. They're not going to go in, there's not a lot of videos like she's talking about. There's quite a bit of stuff to look at, but they're just taking a summary here.
The reason I pulled you over, I've never seen your plate before. Is that a registered plate?
Police are concerned and slowly learning the signs. It starts with seeing phony plates. Fake, homemade license plates, almost always including the word free.
They'll say that they have the common law right to travel, and that doesn't require any authorization by any government.
It is authorized by the government under the Constitution.
I first would like to have an understanding from you that I am requesting to not create joinder to this person because I do not believe that that person is me. So
That was awesome. Thank you very much for using that clip.
would serve something and I didn't.
They're called Freemen on the land, and according to members of the movement and security analysts, there may be as many as 30,000 of them in Canada.
Anybody who has called me a free man on the land, please send me $10 because you're not allowed to do that.
Followers of a worldwide anti-government philosophy preached endlessly online.
All of their rules have no power over us.
I haven't filed income taxes or paid income taxes in 17 years now.
Using obscure legalese and old texts, they...
No way. Dean Clifford, George, Mark Savory from the Toronto Truth Seekers. All three fantastic gentlemen. I consider them wonderful friends, and I hope you do too.
genuinely believe cops and courts and governments have no control over them. Watch what happens when a Freeman acts up in a Guelph court.
Sir, I'm looking for a Willful Chief. Tell me you are not that. This is sit down, sir. Please remove this gentleman from the courtroom. Oh, you guys are communists.
Catherine, I love you. Great video that you did there in the court. However, I'm sorry. I do see that there was probably some more stuff that happened there, and I'm more than happy to talk to you about it in the public, but that video before was not so great.